Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase viewers were left stunned as the Menace suffered a huge loss on Thursday's episode of the ITV game show, with one team taking home an eye-watering £75,000. The Chase star Darragh Ennis faced a record-breaking defeat on the ITV game show as Thursday night's episode saw him pitted against 4 contestants, only managing to eliminate one in the head-to-head rounds. With a substantial £75,000 on the line, Darragh, also known as the Menace, confronted 3 remaining challengers in the final chase. Despite Jake, Laura and Frank's formidable score of 22, Darragh struggled right from the start, getting questions wrong and feeling the heat. Following several errors in the final chase, the 44-year-old, who had previously been a contestant on the show, was unable to close the gap, the Express reports. Admitting the challenge, Darragh remarked at the show's conclusion, "I said it was going to be very difficult and realistically, 23 or 24 is about as much as we can catch in 2 minutes." He acknowledged his early mistake by adding, "I got one wrong very early and I started making a few little mistakes trying to go quick. But you set a high target, I wasn't able to match it. Well done, you deserve the money." The episode began with Jake's impressive cash builder, where he secured 5 correct answers and stuck with his earned £4,000 despite other offers from Darragh. The 42-year-old contestant demonstrated his impressive knowledge, becoming the first player to make it through to the final chase. Laura, a help desk supervisor from Stockport, was next up, choosing to stick with the middle offer of £5,000 before joining Jake in the final chase. The third contestant, Layla, a primary school teacher from Cardiff, unfortunately only managed to answer 2 questions correctly in the cash builder and was later caught by Darragh. This left Frank, a 69-year-old retired electrical technician, to add as much as he could to the prize pot. He couldn't resist Darragh's high offer and played for an astonishing £66,000. After a jaw-dropping performance in the head-to-head, he made it through to the final chase, taking the team's total to a staggering £75,000. Following their win, each member of the trio walked away with £25,000. Get the latest celebrity gossip and telly news sent straight to your inbox. Sign up to our daily showbiz newsletter here. For years, Darragh Ennis, known to millions as the Menace, has towered over ITV's The Chase as one of its most cerebral titans. Clad in sharp suits, his stoic face etched with confidence, and a mind quicker than lightning, Ennis has built a reputation that strikes awe, and often fear, into the hearts of contestants. But last night, the unthinkable happened. In a jaw-dropping episode that viewers have already dubbed The Chase's greatest upset, Ennis suffered a record-breaking defeat at the hands of 3 underdog contestants who turned the tables in the most dramatic fashion seen in the show's history. The final chase, a staggering 24 correct answers. Time left on the clock when Ennis was finally stopped, 11 seconds. The tension builds. It began like any other episode. The host, Bradley Walsh, welcomed the audience with his signature blend of wit and warmth. Then came the contestants, Diane, a bubbly librarian from Manchester, Carl, a retired postman with an encyclopedic knowledge of world capitals, and Priya, a quiet software developer whose nervous laughter quickly endeared her to the viewers. One by one, they stepped up to the plate and bagged an impressive £19,000 between them. Their teamwork was seamless, their timing uncanny. Still, few expected them to survive the final chase, especially not against Darragh. The Menace entered the studio to his signature music, arms crossed, eyes coolly scanning his opposition. He nodded once, acknowledging their performance, and then took his seat with the quiet confidence of a chess master already thinking 10 moves ahead. But the game that followed rewrote everything. The fall of the Menace. They were like a machine, Ennis would later say. Relentless, fast, accurate. I've never seen anything quite like it. The trio's final chase was a masterclass. They answered questions at lightning pace, covering topics from Norse mythology to chemical elements to obscure 90s pop songs. Not once did they hesitate. When Bradley announced, "You set a target of 24, even he looked stunned. The studio held its breath. Ennis started strong, reeling off the first 10 answers with robotic precision. But then, something cracked. A flub on an easy question about the periodic table threw him off rhythm. Then a pushback, successfully executed by the team, cost him another few crucial seconds. And then another. With the clock ticking down, the pressure mounting, and his usually airtight focus starting to fray, Ennis found himself rattled. When the klaxon finally sounded, a rare silence filled the studio. Ennis blinked, sat back, and exhaled heavily. The scoreboard read, contestants, 19,000 pounds. Chaser, defeated. The menace had been slain. Breaking the silence. For hours after the episode aired, social media erupted. Fans couldn't believe what they'd seen. Hashtags like #ChaseUpset, #Darragh down, and #Final24 began trending across the UK. But Ennis, silence. That was until this morning. In a candid video posted to his Instagram and later shared on ITV's official pages, Darragh Ennis finally broke his silence. Set against the backdrop of his quiet home study, filled with books and softly humming computers, Ennis looked every bit the humble academic. No suit, no theatrics, just a man with a message. First of all, he began, massive congratulations to Diane, Carl, and Priya. That performance was extraordinary. I've been in this game a long time, and I've never seen a team move so cohesively, so sharply. You didn't just beat me, you earned it. He leaned in slightly, a wry smile on his face. Now, don't get me wrong, losing always stings, especially like that. But I've always said the beauty of the chase is that it's anyone's game. And last night, you saw that. Ennis, who rarely reveals his emotions on screen, was uncharacteristically reflective. There's this idea that the chasers are unbeatable, he said. But we're human. Brilliant sometimes, flawed at others. That's the magic of it. Behind the menace. To the fans, Ennis may seem like a mind forged in logic, data, and unerring focus, but his path to chaser status is more human than most realize. A neuroscientist by trade and a former contestant himself, Darragh's rise to fame wasn't handed to him. In 2017, he appeared on The Chase as a contestant and stunned producers with his razor-sharp mind. That appearance earned him a spot in the Elite Chasers panel in 2020. Since then, his near-unbeatable record and calm demeanor have turned him into a fan favorite and a formidable opponent. So how does someone so skilled handle such a dramatic loss? I study the brain, he said in the video, chuckling, so I know what stress and pressure do to decision-making. I felt it. That's no excuse, but it's a reminder. Every great competitor, whether in sports or quizzes, faces defeat. It's what you do with it that counts. Bradley weighs in. Even Bradley Walsh, ever the showman, shared his thoughts during a follow-up interview with Good Morning Britain. Look, I've seen Darragh destroy teams in 30 seconds flat, Walsh said, but that loss? That was special. It showed us why people love the chase. You can't script that kind of drama. It was real, raw, and honestly, one of the best episodes we've ever had. When asked how Ennis took the loss behind the scenes, Walsh grinned. Like a true professional, walked over, shook their hands, and said, "You earned every penny. That's class." The chase must go on. As the sun set on the day following his shocking defeat, Ennis ended his video with a promise. "I'll be back in that seat, sharper, faster, hungrier. But until then, Diane, Carl, Priya, enjoy the win. You earned your spot in chase history." In a show known for intellect and wit, Darragh Ennis reminded viewers that grace in defeat is just as powerful as dominance in victory. And somewhere, 3 contestants are probably still grinning, holding a very fat check, and a memory that will last a lifetime. Because on the chase, sometimes, even the menace can be outplayed.